Hey everyone, welcome to another Reality Skewed Gamers live stream. And for those of you that were expecting Ranger J 1999, to you. I am Finity, subbing in for Ranger because for some reason they are messing with his internet and he is trying to get his connection back up. So until then, I am filling in. But we are joined by some of the usual crew. We have with us from Team Instinct, one of Ranger J's brothers here in arms, we have Mr. Warrior. How are you doing today, Warrior?
Hey, Finity, thanks for picking up where Ranger slacking this morning. No, I'm just kidding.
That's my job
thanks for
here.
picking
Anytime
up the
Ranger
torch.
slacks off, that's where I come in.
Yeah, I heard that he was playing hopscotch with some people this morning, so that was more important, evidently, than this call.
And as you can imagine with Ranger, when he does that, there's drinking on the line, so he's probably drank a whole nother bottle of bourbon this morning and now can't find his way to his computer. So,
Well, it was with trolls, I was told. So, I mean, hopscotch with trolls is difficult, you know.
yes, it is. Being one myself, I definitely know that. And then we have also with us the Darth Lady of the Sith, Ranger J's apprentice, Miss Darth Bella. How are you today, Miss Bella?
Hi, good morning. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I stayed up quite late for territory battles and all this that happens right now in the game. And yeah, I got some sleep, but I'm still very tired. And about Ranger, are you sure he didn't kind of it's not something from Grande and his government Wi-Fi stealing scheme that Ranger tried that as well or something that, you know?
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't surprise me. We revealed our scheme this past week about how we keep getting Grande out of prison, and it wouldn't surprise me if
Yeah.
now the feds are all over Ranger and his legit internet because of Grande.
I think so. That must be, yeah, definitely.
How dare you people talk about me without me being around here?
Hey, man.
Ranger.
I know you like to play hopscotch with trolls. It's all good, dude. It's all good. You don't have to hide it anymore. It's okay.
And by
It's
trolls, Warrior
2017.
means Playboy models. It's okay. Don't be
AKA.
jealous.
Oh, you're calling me a model? That's sweet.
Finn, if anybody in this world will never be called a model, it is not you.
Now you're not sweet. Go to hell.
When you sleep with Ewoks, this is the response you get from me every time.
We got Mike and Ranger that still need to be introduced, and then we can get rocking.
Yep. So we have Ranger.
I don't need any introduction. The peeps know who I is.
Yes. Do you have access to Discord, Ranger? Are you able to see it too?
Yeah, I'm pulling up now into let's see here.
So while Ranger's getting that, we'll introduce also Mr. Mike Hunt. So Mike, how are you doing this morning? Or afternoon where you are, sir?
Good afternoon. I'm doing well. Happy birthday to my dad. It's his birthday today, and congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. Today's looking good.
All right. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and post them in the chat. I will be collecting them. Ranger will resume his hosting duties instead of being the slacker that he was trying to be this morning. And before we get into the questions...
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, good question, Finn. Good job.
So
did we move the streamer
questions? No, it's still in the stream questions. I'm just starting to collect them now, though. But before we go ahead and get started, do you want to run us through the events of the week? Because there was a lot of stuff that dropped, especially on Wednesday during our live stream.
Well, yeah, but I can't.
I'll get you the questions. Don't worry.
Wait a second here.
I told you he went through a whole bottle of bourbon.
Aha! I found it. Discord is being stupid too. What is happening? It's like the Lord Jesus and baby Jesus decided like things have been going so well for Ranger when he's been streaming lately. We gotta fuck with him. Okay. Now that I got that, Jesus Christ. All right. So Now that I got that set. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff this week. I don't even know where we want to begin. How long did we stream on Wednesday, Finn? Like 20 hours, if it's not felt like that we were
Yeah,
going
we
through all the
pushed to
news and
3
notes and
hours.
stuff.
That was the most we've done, I think, ever.
I mean, there was so much to drop. We got Thrawn ship, we got Phoenix Zetas, we got what else? I mean, what else did we get, Finn? Fixes. I mean, there's so
Guild
much.
versus guild.
Oh yeah, guild versus guild.
Warning people
Ships
not to do
scoring
territory
7
battles.
stars.
Yeah, cats versus dogs.
Dark side territory battles.
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, holy moly! We got the news. The Thrawn events coming up. The ship battle events coming up. Quite a plethora of stuff. I mean, it was mega, it was a mega amount of information. So we'll go around the corn, as the good old Grande Pappy Patron would say. What stood out to you this week? I mean, more than anything, we'll give everybody a chance. What was the thing that stood out to you while we're getting all the questions and everything set up?
Well, we had theorized there'd be the dark side, so I was excited to hear that they're already announcing a dark side territory battles. I think that is nice that they did in fact roll it out with both, basically, which they didn't admit to until just this week. But I had that guttural feeling they had it ready to go for dark side already, so that's exciting. And for the dark side people, yay, because some people are like, all I have is dark side players. Well, if that's true, you're going to do far better in a dark side territory battle, so that's good for everybody who complained. And then the guild versus guild looks basically like a territory battle, but instead of PvP or PvE, it'll be PvP. So I'm interested to see what that looks like. This is what's ahead, so this is not going to be out immediately. It'll be in a little bit. But the guild versus guild, I knew it was in beta, but we couldn't talk about it. But since they've mentioned it, we can talk about it now. So that's exciting. Pretty happy about that. They also mentioned 7-star ships, which finally, we can take those 6-star capital ships to 7 stars, the new Thrawn ship, all of it, man. I'm freaking stoked. They talked about Night Sisters having additions being added into the game, and then new characters, and then also the reworks of them. And then also they mentioned a character that we know is coming into the game before the new movie, and so that has to be because reworks are in October, November. And in November, it'll be probably another legendary event, and it will probably be a Jedi or at least lightsaber Rey, I'm guessing, because all of a sudden there was that new promotion, the Google Play promotion. A, if you're in America, B, if you buy it from Walmart, and C, if you're Android. So if you follow all three of those things in America, Android, and buy it at Walmart, you get a free 7-star scavenger Rey, they're calling her, which means that there's now going to be another Rey in the game. So we've got a new Rey coming, which is pretty exciting.
It's my exciting because someone asked me. Someone asked me on Wednesday. They're like, in Guild v Guild, if one guild from Team Instinct played another guild from Team Instinct, would you just set up so everybody got equal points? I'm like, hell no, we try to kill each other. They just don't understand the competitive nature that's in TI. If we had to fight each other, we wouldn't like it. We'd kill each other.
We'd love it, and we'd kill each other, but
we'd go after each other because there was that kind of competitive.
But we would also want to be able to say Delta's better, or Echo's better, or Bravo's better.
Oh yeah, I can tell people. Yeah,
it's a pride thing in between. Yeah, each one of the 3 different guilds.
Yes, it is. Now, Bella, all this new ship stuff is out. You've got to be happy.
Oh yes, I am. Yes, I am. I was overwhelmed actually, so I right away got my Akbar to 7 stars just because I could, because I've been waiting for it so long.
Why not? If you can do something.
Yeah, and it's his capital ship is much more luxury now. They reworked the cantina. You get 5-course menus now there, and draft beers from the Outer Rim, which is quite nice. Also, all the security updates according to Coruscant rules. So it's much more safe to battle with Akbar right now when you have him 7-star.
That's right. Trapped, eh? Meh.
How
Oh
much
my God.
speed did you
But
get him when you
also,
went
I
from
was
6 stars to
thinking,
7 stars?
What's that?
I was just asking Bella, how much extra speed did she get out of that extra star? I noticed with I got people that did the 7-star Tarkin ship got 5 extra speed for that extra star.
yeah, actually, I have to check again because I don't know. I was just kind of looking more for the cantina things, the draft beer and everything, not for the speed, because I didn't want to have him more speed, but want to have him better food.
Yeah, you don't want to spill your drink, right? That's
No,
important.
no. So I didn't try it out yet, like the full speed. Because with draft beer, I mean, this is so exceptional, the Outer Rim draft beer,
But I wish I could be drinking draft beer at the moment. It's too early in the morning. You know what I'm going to drink? Coffee.
Yeah, but me too. And also the other thing I was kind of calculating is, was it worth to buy like for €800 a ticket to fly to the US to go to Walmart to get those cards? But I thought, no, it's not good because I'm not on Android, so that's extra costs as well. Joking, but yeah. So I feel kind of
come to America, come to Walmart.
a bit left out by that they do this with Google Play all the time, and not with the other big platform, which is called Apple, right? And
right.
And sometimes for Japan they have got extras. For the US, I have the feeling they have got extras. Where are we in Europe? We need some extras as well. We are important customers.
No, you're not. No.
No?
You get nothing.
No.
So they already have come out and said that they're rolling out for Android platform worldwide some cool promotions. And this isn't the only promotion in America. There's going to be multiple promotions for the holiday season, according to what I read on the forums. That's what they're posting. Yeah. And they said it was going to hit the whole world. But Apple's Apple, and Apple doesn't like to play with other people. So unfortunately, anyone who has Apple has chosen to be screwed from any promotions that they'll probably ever do. Apple very rarely ever participates in this. And this is not a EA thing. This is not a CG thing. This is an Apple thing because they just don't play well with others.
Anything related to Star Wars, I would be all over that like white on rice. But Apple's like, no, we're better. Okay, man. Sorry, iOS users.
The other big thing that happened, I got my GK 7-star tonight and G12. Yes.
Oh. My little Bella's growing up.
Super excited. I'm General of the Republic, which is a bit bad because I'm already Grand Admiral and I didn't want to be General.
No, you want to be a Dark Lord. What is wrong with you today, Bella?
I'm a ship person, so I can be Grand Admiral, right?
That's stick with the evil side. Grand Admiral Bella.
Yes.
Screw Thrawn, I have Bella. All right, and then Mikey. What do you think about all this stuff? What stood out to you? What is the thing that you're key on with all the 9 million things that they put out this week?
I zoned in 100% on Cashew Wing.
Yeah, I've been farming that.
Oh man, I am so farming that. As far as I can tell, I might be wrong, but I think you need a 7-star Cashew Wing to unlock
Cashew Wing. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I saw it in chat. I've been using that ever since. Yeah, I think you need a 7-star Cashew Wing to get a 7-star Chimera. Yeah, all the blurb I've seen, they haven't outright said it, but what they're saying is you need a 7-star Akbar, you need 7-star Rebels and Phoenix.
Yeah, but you don't need a
Yes.
Cassian. You need a Phoenix, and you need Ghost and Phantom at 7-star, and Akbar, and 3 more Rebels. But you have 4
Yep.
more Rebels.
You don't need Cassians to be 7 stars.
No, but
You have Biggs and
it's
Wedge
good.
and Bistan.
I'm chasing. I've got them. Actually, I added 3 speed onto my Umbaran this week.
Mm-hmm.
Gear 12 5s purely for the ship. It's a shame actually, but yeah. But yeah, I'm just looking now. My Umbaran is now up to 185. 84,000 health.
Very nice. Yeah, Umbaran's a good ship.
Umbaran's one of the best ships there is.
Yeah.
Took me
he does some good stuff, man. I mean, it depends on which fleet you're running with, but yeah, he's a good little ship to be throwing in there. All right, so
I just looked up. My Akbar has 172 speed now, but I forgot to check actually what he had before. If any one of you check your Akbar, maybe.
I'm looking at mine right now. My Akbar is 6 stars and 163.
Okay, so
Wow,
that's a nice little bump.
That's not bad.
9 speed, so they took one of the slower ships to make them faster. Wow,
My
that's a
Akbar's
huge bump.
gear 11.
Yeah, mine is gear 12.
But otherwise maxed.
Yeah.
You've gear 12 your Akbar?
Yes.
Oh, I so want to do that.
Okay, so you probably get 5 speed bump from gear 12.
Yes, I think so. It's a gear 12.
And then you get
also.
another 5 or 6 from, then you get another 4 or 5 from the from the 7th star, because it's about 5 for those major upgrades.
That's a huge boost, though, isn't it?
It is, for especially for the slowest capital ship out there.
Yeah.
So huge. All right, it is time for the questions. Let me see here. We're getting them all put together here. Let me see here. So we'll start with Mikey, since we're just highlighting you, my friend. Jayhawk003 has a question. Well, to everybody, we'll start with you, Mikey.
Okay.
Hey, Academy, can you guys talk about Shard Shop gear farming? Should you do it? How should players use it?
This is the new shop, yeah? Oh, the Shard Shop. Oh, Shard Shop farming.
Shard Shop,
no.
what are you
Shard
talking
Shop.
about?
Oh, yeah. You use it, abuse it. Farm your 7 stars to refresh it, and yeah, you're picking up great bits of gear in there.
Well, I know you, Warrior, religiously farm the hell out of that. I mean, I think you've mentioned it on the show before, like how you do about it. But could you go into it again for this?
Yeah. So, I mean, it depends on where everybody's at development wise. Obviously, I've got every character 7 stars in the game, so I'm not farming anyone. So I just continue to farm characters I don't need, which then converts in the Shard Shop. I get around 800 to 1,000 Shard Shop currency a day. But you don't have to have everyone to 7 stars to follow this. You could have everybody you need or want, and then start to do this and just buy the character you do have that you don't need to get the currency. And then, you get anywhere from 500 to 1,000 currency in the Shard Shop for conversion. Because remember, Galactic War also gives you a bunch of character shards and stuff. And if they give you P characters you already have, that'll convert as well. So. And then, of course, your Bronziums, when you open those, you'll probably get some excess characters that you don't need because they just tend to drop the same character, shards and stuff. So anywhere from, 2 to 5 purchases a day I get now out of the current shard shop. And the 2 to 5 purchases, you got to be careful because you got all all day and there's multiple refreshes and you want only the best of what you got. So whatever that you're focused on that day, even if you have like 6 in your favorites or 8 in your favorites, you still want to pick one today that you're going to say, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to try to get this guy to the next level. And you go through their gear and you find the one piece of gear that's like, I could get his stun cuff done. So then you would go and you look specifically for stun cuffs and you would farm specifically for stun cuffs that day. So that way you have definitive progress each day, when you're doing this. And so you've got to just kind of, focus. I always tell people be laser focused, but that's what it looks like for me. And then I just start chewing away at that. And then when they pop up in the shard shop, it's like, oh, that's what I needed. Click, click, click. I don't just go in there and arbitrarily buy everything in the shard shop unless I have a ton of currency. And then, of course, I do buy everything out of there. And I do have a bunch of currency right now because of that Google Play promotion. It's good for 3 times on your account that you can get that promotion. And, of course, you get a 7-star Ray with a $100 Google Play gift card. So I got 3 7-star Rays, which I didn't need because I had her at 7 stars. That was 15,000 shard shop currency, plus another almost 10,000 crystals and like almost 6 million credits. So that was a pretty good promotion.
That's not bad. No. You'll be getting gear for years. I hate you. No, I just need to do it. All right.
Yeah, I like the full pieces that they used to have. They don't have anymore, but I'm getting over that. I'm just accepting.
Well, for the salvage you get, it's not bad. I mean, it was a change. I think it helps the overall. I too did like the like one piece at a time thing too. So we adapt, right? All right. Let's see. I'm gonna give this to Bella. These are 2 related questions, I guess, Miss Bella, from Zeri SPC and Enrique B. Question: when are the Ewoks going to be farmable? Isn't it past the time frame EA set up? And then Enrique B asks, why is Wicket not free to play yet? I feel like these are Finn questions. But
Yeah,
Bella?
I think so. I mean, I can tell you my point of view, but
Yeah.
I think it's an affinity question actually. And
he's a troll. He doesn't like to be social.
Yeah.
I mean, so speak on Finnadoodle's behalf here about why is Wicket not free to play, and when are the Ewoks going to be farmable, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have. I think we follow the normal order that we have them. We have an event, then they go to shipments, then they go to probably not anymore to shard shop, but they will at one point be farmable then I mean, farmable without spending crystals. And I think Pablo and Logray, they are in shipments now. So after a bit, they will be farmable, and Wicket will be coming to shipments then afterwards, I guess, because the event was afterwards, and he's kind of the stronger Ewok as well, and more rare event also, and so on and so on. So they are not there yet, but we have to have patience. They will definitely come to shipments and then to a farm. I mean, I have to say this now. I was really, really surprised about the changes, how much they changed, like making all those ships farmable at once. And I was like really surprised to see that. So I think the last update already gave us a lot, like Cassian in Cantina shipments and the other non-farmable ships, all in hard nodes. That was quite good, and I bet everyone is farming them now. So we can't ask for too much. So I think we should be a little patient, and then they will be farmable.
I agree. All right. Next question is for Warrior from Enrique B again, and this is for the Thrawn event. He wants to know, what is the best team to complete the Thrawn event, in your opinion, Mr. Warrior?
Well, when I did it the first time, one, the audio was horrible on the video.
Well, if you haven't seen that, you should go watch that video. It is classic.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It was back when Phoenix were a team that nobody used, so I'd never used them. I didn't really know what I was doing. So when people say, "Oh, you play them horribly," you're right, I did. And so I also used Sabine. And back then, it was theory crafted that Sabine would be, the best to use. We have figured out with territory battles that really Chopper brings a durability that most people need with this team, and that Ezra's enough damage dealing as long as you can protect him. So you need Chopper to protect him. You really need their unique abilities maxed, if possible, Omega, and then Hera's leadership, Omega. And so I would drop Sabine for Hera or for Chopper, and have everybody but Sabine in your lineup, all uniques maxed, and her leadership, Hera's leadership maxed. And then you can do it with Gear 8. I've seen it with Gear 8 done multiple times. But yeah, it's a really, really good territory battles team right now.
Yeah, I agree. It really is. Let's see here.
Before you go to the next question, Ranger, just one quick point of order. Jedi Academy has made it in the world. We just got a porn ad in our chat that got blocked. Jedi Academy has made it.
I can't believe it. We're moving up in the world. What's the next one? Like, what's the next scam that'll they'll try to throw in our chat? I don't know. We'll see. I think it'll be the next level. Like early in the morning, porn. Come on now. Jeez. This is a ship question. I'm gonna go to Bell on this one, then we'll go to you, Mike. Question: who is willing out on the new capital ships, Bella? And do you really think Chimera can beat Tarkin with another reinforcement stall? Treasure.
I just got it was about Chimera, but what was this with reinforcements? I didn't get.
No, he wants to know who's willing out on the new capital ship, and do we think that Chimera can beat Tarkin with another reinforcement stall?
Yeah, it's more than Tarkin. It will be the best ship.
Yeah, so you think between Chimera and Tarkin that Chimera is going to easily be the better ship?
I expect it to be, because Thrawn, Grand Admiral Thrawn, is the best commander in the universe, in the galaxy, in all galaxies, actually.
I got to say, his kit looks pretty damn impressive. When we were going through that on Wednesday, my God in heaven, we were reading that like, Jesus, God.
I mean, if you look at his abilities, okay, on his basic target ally assists and plus 35 offense, Art of War, all allies recover 20% health and gain a buff for 2 turns. And then you have again this, I think they invented this quite a while ago, that you have different buffs for different groups of ships, like attackers, support, or tanks. So you get different buffs, and it can't be evaded. And then the next one is deal special damage and remove turn meter. Okay, fierce loyalty. All allies get 25% critical damage, critical chance, and so on. Reinforcement bonus, critical chance up. And the last one is quite interesting as well. Strategic dominance. Instantly defeat target enemy and deal damage to all remaining enemies equal to 40% of their max health. That's quite good, I think.
That's very good.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's
all
really good.
Go ahead,
all which I've seen that ship is going to be, it's just like our current state of arena, right? Anyone can beat anyone. Yeah. Ships, it's that way as well, but it's getting, especially at the highest end, it's getting really hard. It's kind of, I would say, almost RNG dependent. There's times when, you beat this guy 99 times out of 100, but just the one time, it's like nothing target locks. Yeah, every ship you have that target locks isn't target locking, and you're like, what the hell? And then you lose that battle in like a minute because not one target lock applied for you, but every single ship target locked you, and they did like triple attacks, which you've never seen. You're like, what the hell? They're getting all this extra turn meter. So that happens, right? Sometimes you can lose on offense just because of RNG and stuff. I think this ship is going to bring a consistency on offense that you'll always be able to slice through your opponents like a hot knife through butter. I don't think on defense it's going to be anything spectacular, because on defense everybody is constantly specifically targeting who needs to be killed on the other side and doing it with efficiency. So especially with Tarkin and his AoE and stuff like that, even if he gets his buff increased by one time, it's just going to delay the inevitable for one more turn. So it remains to be seen, but it's also not been compared against 7-star ships. The other ships are going 7-star as well now, so they are getting more speed and whatnot. So it's just important to kind of compare apples to apples. But as far as the ships go, just really quick, everybody was rushing out and buying packs. I heard Darth Bella got hers already, and good for you. But I did want to just give everybody the information, because not everyone understood this. These three ship battles to get your captain ships up, or whatever, your main ships up, they're coming back again and again and again, nonstop over the next 9 days. It goes, one, then the other, then back to the first one, then the other, then back to the first one, then the other. So for 9 days, you're going to do this event 3 times. You're going to get 45 shards, or almost half of all the shards you need in the next week and a half for free to get them to 7 stars. And then for the last 55, you can either purchase the 800 crystal refresh, which is the better deal, obviously, than the 1,000 to purchase packs. And if you did that, you'd have to pay 2,400 to do 3 refreshes for the 3 events that are going to be in the next 9 days per ship. So you're at 2,400 crystals, and then buy 1 pack, which would finish it off, and you would be paying 3,400 crystals per ship. So if you have a ship you like Tarkin, you could get him up to 7 stars for 3,400 crystals. And if you've saved your crystals, even as a free-to-play, if you've been saving crystals, you could have 3,000 to 5,000 crystals. Depends on how dedicated you are. If not, and you spent a tiny bit of money in the game, like a Dolphin, you could buy a small crystal pack and get that ship up to 7 stars. The other thing is, this event will come back every single month, and you'll get 15 every month for the next few months, and eventually 7-star. And the difference between 6 and 7-star is not huge. It's not significant. It's basically a 5-speed bump, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And for those who bought, just like me, the Capital Ship pack way back last, was it November or December? I can't remember. They already have 15 shards for Maze, for the Endurance, so they don't even need to buy the extra pack. So that would be 2,400 crystals.
I'm following that pattern, and I've got my Akbar moving up. Did my endurance today, and my endurance is now on 57. So yeah, I'm gonna get it there on the next round. The Thrawn Chimera Legendary event will be open for the entire period then.
I think just why they have the ship thing open.
Yeah. The timing on all of that works. That's been my concern. Was will I
7
have?
days. It's a legendary event. 7 days.
Right. So I can 6-star him and then wait for the Akbar challenge to come back round again.
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm sorry, but it tickled me. I'd never realised that Mr. Fishface's race is squid.
Yeah, it's Mon Calamari.
Not squid. Mon Calamari.
Oh, my squid.
Oh, Lord. Moving on. Knucklehead Mike. Before we do that, Finn has a question for Bella. You're such a troll, Finn. Can Bella say Pablo again? It was awesome and adorable.
Pablo. What did I do?
I don't know.
Nothing,
Finn is just
Mike.
being retarded.
Oh my god.
It's Finn. You have to expect these things.
Sorry.
What?
Just coming back to the ships. Have they stealth nerfed Tarkin? Because the Imperial wave at the end isn't anywhere near as devastating on a 6-star now. It used to 3 days ago. It took everything out. Now you might get 1 or 2 taken out.
I had not heard anything like that or anything of that nature. I don't know why they would change that stealth-wise. I mean, I did battles yesterday and didn't have any problem wiping out people.
I'm hearing that 7-star Tarkin Imperial wave literally just clear, that game over. But that's what I was experiencing up until a couple of days ago on my 6-star. I mean, I've got a Gear 12 1-zeted Tarkin, so mine's pretty good.
I haven't. There was nothing in the notes or anything about that, so I'll have to look into that.
But there's. I always think I'm not quite sure how the programming is done, but I have the feeling the dodges increased, like the dodges of TIE Fighter, and whenever they do something with ships, I have the feeling something else is slightly altered.
Well, they should announce it then. Turkeys. All right, Mike, next question from Enrique B. He says, question, why are they announcing new stuff when their old stuff is still broken? Territory battles crashing, 600 counter broken as examples. Why is this, Mikey?
Because we are all demanding new content on almost a daily basis. We're clamoring for it.
We're also demanding stuff be fixed.
True, but the record buy-ins on all the new products. As a business model, you're not going to stop releasing new stuff. The old stuff, might get buying the new stuff might fund the repairing of the old.
That's true. I like it. Yeah, it's crazy. Still haven't got the 600 thing fixed yet. I mean, all this other stuff is great, but it's still like there's still a petition out there to try to get that fixed.
Yeah, I mean, surely you just want one decent sequel guy to go in and sort that. I mean, that's what, a couple of tables? I wouldn't have thought it. Yeah. Again, it's although it impacts on everyone that's in a guild, well, definitely leader, officers, and all guild members that want the 30k, which hopefully is all 50. It impacts across the board, but it doesn't actually affect the gameplay itself, does it?
No.
So it's I mean, my experience is you put so many complaints in, and some of them can run for years before somebody finally thinks, oh, maybe we should have a look at this.
Yeah, let's fix it.
And the 27 million complaints.
It's only been forever. All right. Next question for Mr. Warrior. Question. I just got 7-star Gear 12 Admiral Thrawn. I'm looking to put him in Arena. It seems CLS lead with R2, Z2, and Thrawn is a nice core. Any advice on the other 2 slots? I don't have General Kenobi yet, but all others are unlocked.
So with Thrawn, I mean, there's 2 trains of thought. You can use him in a mixed team or like an Empire hybrid team. If you were going to go a Empire hybrid team, then I would use him as your lead, and I would have, Shore Trooper with him for sure, because Shore Trooper and him, I mean, on offense, Shore Trooper will stay alive forever, and he'll keep you in the game, and Thrawn with his fracture, will do it. And then you need someone like Death Trooper, so that way you have some good offense, and he brings in days, which you'll need against the CLS leads, because of all the countering, you need that days for sure. And then, you could bring in Darth Nihilus or someone like that. And so there's that kind of, hybrid team of basically mostly Empire. Or you could just say, I'm going to go hybrid team. What's the absolute best hybrid team I can build? And that's where it would come to you using Thrawn as a backup, kind of as a side character for an arena team that you build. And he said he didn't have CLS, so
no,
right?
he has CLS lead with R2Z2. He does not have General. Yeah, he doesn't have General Kenobi yet. So
that's okay. So
yeah,
what you can run very easily is CLS and R2, and then use someone like Han Solo or Leia or Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum, one of those like super damage dealers, and throw them in that third slot in the front, and then in the back have Thrawn and have another tank. It could be Baze by himself. A lot of people think you have to have Chirrut with Baze. You don't. Baze auto taunts. So he's going to automatically take the heat off your team on the first round. 2, every time somebody dies, he auto taunts. So every time your DPS is slaughtering a fool, he'll regain his taunt. And Baze is one of the tankiest tanks in the game. So, I mean, he's going to be able to absorb a lot of damage. Plus, he has 2 dispels. If you're running R2D2, guess what? Your opponents are running R2D2. The number 1 best tank in the game versus R2D2, unequivocally, is Baze, because as soon as R2D2 gives everyone stealth, it gives him turn meter to go again. He can use his AoE dispel, take away the stealth, and it just totally and completely reverses and foils what they're trying to do with their R2D2.
I like it. All right. Next question. We'll go to Bella. A lot of ship questions. This is like Bella's just in heaven right now. This is from DB. How good will 7-star Thrawn ship really be? Is it worth it to buy home 1 to 7 stars to get 7-star Thrawn ship, especially with ship Crystal's Arena? Do you think it's worth it to get the 7-star, to spend some stuff to get the 7-star Thrawn ship, Bella? And how good do you think it'll really be compared to the other ones?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm quite the wrong person to ask that, because I will always say yes.
That's right.
But seriously, you have to kind of see how important ships are for you. But with the changes, Warrior mentioned them in the beginning, all the changes this past week. We got crystals now for fleet arena payout. So I get a lot of people ask me to help them with their ships set up, with their fleet and lineup now, because they want obviously to be better in ships. And this is a way to differentiate the new capital ship by Thrawn, right? To run something else. So I really, really love that. Also, if you like dark side, that's another option. We were asking for a dark side capital ship, and that's still an Empire ship, which is good because we already have other Empire ships. But yeah, I think it's we have to see it like that. EA, when EA has new characters, or ships obviously are the same now, they all get new abilities which we haven't seen before. And I think the Chimera abilities are really great, and I definitely will go for it. And if you are into ships, then you should plan to get it. But also, Warrior mentioned, I don't need to repeat everything in detail, that you will have plenty of opportunity to get it without investing into it. But you have to see, it's a legendary event, so it won't come back probably for a few months. So the capital ship, we will have the event starting, I think, on Monday, and it will probably last 1 week. But I expect it not to be back quite soon. So if you want to have Thrawn and you need a 7-star home 1 for that, then you have to plan accordingly.
I agree. Good point, Ms. Bella. All right, next is Mikey, and this is from Notorious Drac Knight. And his question is: do you think CG is actually going to TP goals for each phase of the dark territory battles? In regards to lack of dark side in comparison to light side, we've talked about this on the Wednesday stream when we saw this stuff about the dark side territory battles coming down the pike. Whenever we are really lacking dark side people to do this.
It does make you wonder.
Platoon goals would make it a little difficult,
But I level 85'd the last two Night Sisters that still were to be maxed.
How dare you, sir.
Level wise. We're getting 3 more Night Sisters. Territory battles at the moment. How many Wigs chases do you have to drop in? How many Jins and Cassians do you have to put into platoons?
Yeah.
Was it yesterday 3 R2s in one of the platoons?
I don't remember top of my head because my brain's fried.
Oh, I know that I did. I think the only one I didn't have to put in out of who I just mentioned was Chimera. But yeah, I mean it cost it that and bad planning on my behalf cost me I dropped a phase. I've been perfect up till now, and I did a 5. Only did a 5 out of 6 on one of the ones yesterday.
Yeah, mine was Phoenix. I got to the 6th battle, and I swear to God, RNG just worked against me. I was kicking ass, and then all of a sudden, it was like, wait, what? What the hell? Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah,
God,
there was
some
savage muggings taking place within territory.
All the other
yesterday.
battles, I had no problem. It was like 6v6, but I got to that Phoenix battle, I was like, I lost.
But in regards to Dark Side TB, I'm expecting to have to put in.
We're going to get an influx of, but even then, for platoons, right? It's not so much the people in platoons. It's going to be a lot of people putting in platoons, but that's not the issue. Is we were kind of looking at it just as a numbers thing. There's just not a lot of dark side characters as compared to the light side. I mean, it's 3 to 1. Light side characters that we have versus dark side characters, and if you look at the dark side, I mean, we need some more teams. I mean, we've speculated about the Last Jedi is going to bring in a lot more, but even then, we're still going to need a hell of a lot more dark side to even be close to really doing anything.
The only solution that leaps to mind would be if they incorporate ships dispersal, because at the moment that's the biggest wastage of territory points. Are the ships.
I don't know. Warrior Bella, I mean, when you think about the territory battles and the lack of dark side characters, is it disconcerting, or do you see them in the future here before they launch territory battles with an influx of new dark side characters and stuff like that to kind of offset, the low levels of characters we have?
Can I jump in on this one?
Well, oh my God, everybody, it's Remon. Remon from the Alliance. He's popped in from his busy days to come join us at Jedi Academy. Of course you can, Remon. What's going on?
Not much. What's going on? Thanks for having me. I just I heard your question, and I kind of feel like they listen with raids and with TB right now. A lot of people are kind of feeling a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of things that you have to do in this game, right? So let's say they add territory wars, and then they add later on, a dark side version of territory battles, you know what I mean? And let's say that's what's necessary. I think it'll get to a point where there's just too much stuff going on in the game for anybody to complete. And what I'm saying is that most likely the route to go would be, because there's less dark side characters, to just have less battles. and have lower requirements. I mean, you don't necessarily have to have the equivalent of the rebel side of territory battles to do a dark side territory battles, if you know what I'm saying. Like you could have a more abbreviated version, which maybe cut down the amount of characters that are necessary for each battle. Maybe have some battles where you go in with 3 characters, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like other ways they could do it. But I mean, could you imagine a world where you're doing 2 raids in a day, territory battles for rebels, and then also a territory battles for Empire, and then possibly fighting a war against Bounty Hunters Guild later on tonight? I mean, I think that's just a little bit too much of an agenda for me in this game.
And get your Galactic War in, and make sure you get your arena battles done, and make sure you get your ship battles done. And now that ships are giving crystals, I've never been knocked out of the top 10 in my life, and I'm now in the 30s. I'm got to try and climb just to get back into the top 10.
And keep farming the Millennium Falcon and Kylo's shuttle and Tyreen.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine like at some point like how busy you're going to have to be in this game to even maintain your account. And then you have people like me and Warrior who now are like maintaining alt accounts, and you have to do that on 2 accounts, and that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, it's nuts. Especially if you've made an investment in your alt. Like I know Warrior's made an investment in his alt account. I mean, like now you kind of you feel obligated to do all the work on the other side. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I heard that quite a few people don't finish their Galactic Wars anymore because of the other things that they have to do.
Yeah, I mean, it is what is happening. I mean, this is a question for everybody. I mean, with everything that they're looking to put in and everything that do we think the Timesink is becoming too much for a mobile app game? And I think it's a legitimate question to ask. I mean, eventually we'll have territory battles on farm for the light side. But if they introduce Guild v Guild and they put dark side battles in, and with the importance of ship, with the rewards, and I mean, is it going to become a point where it's like, how much can you do in a day? How much time do people have to really invest in doing all this stuff? Do you think they're going too far?
I think you have to differentiate a little bit. Territory battles are still very new. I think we have the 4th territory battle right now. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes, you are correct.
So the main thing for territory battles is to organize your guild and communication, and this is still kind of a process where we optimize these things. And once we have them on farm, as you said, it will be like a raid. But the next territory battle, the dark side one, will be much easier because we already did these steps of organization and communication. So we just need to kind of find out what is special about this new map and what we are facing, and not so much the guild organization and communication anymore, I guess. And a lot of people also are stronger in dark side throughout the game. So I don't expect it to be the same. What is different now, and I said this, I've been saying this for quite a long time, that with 7-star capital ships, the ship battles are longer because you have a force spot for reinforcement. So the battles will be longer. That's just logic, right? And also, as was mentioned before, with the crystals, now in the prices for the fleet arena, more people get interested in fleet, and mostly it was like, I don't like fleet, I just do my 1 battle per day and that's it, fine. Prices are not worth it anyway. But now that changes, so we will spend more time in fleet arena, and that we need to get used to.
Well, great points, Bella. do you think though it's too much time invested? Even if you put everything on farm, we still haven't even
To be very
discussed with the fuel.
So-
just now it's way too much time.
Yeah.
So
Because
couple
I
of
have the
things
feeling
on that.
I spent hours and hours and hours in the game for
Mm-hmm.
territory battles, for the different events. Now I have to look after my Night Sisters because there will be Night Sister event in October, and you have, I mean, it's so much on all, every aspect.
Yeah, I agree. Who was saying something? Was it you, Warrior?
Yeah, that was me. So, I mean, a couple of things on this. First off, you asked for it. We did it. I mean, we asked for this,
Yeah.
right? Everybody kept
Yeah.
saying, we want GVG, we want this, we want that, we want, this thing, we want that thing, we want more characters, we want more events, we want to do more, we want to do more, we want to do more. If you go into the forums and you go back for the last year and you look at the overwhelming majority of people who are vocal on Reddit and on the actual legit forums, even on the Facebook page, what you will notice is this is everything we've asked for. The other thing is every game has to constantly be reinventing because that's how they keep it fresh. And then lastly, yes, I completely agree. We're all investing more time. Like I, almost don't have time. At work, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta like go to the bathroom so I can get this in, or I've got to, try and do a battle really quick, and a customer's coming in. Crap, I'm not going to get my payout, so I'm stressing while I'm trying to work at work. It's like it's affecting my real life emotionally. It's like it's a mess. So I get that what everybody is saying. That it's difficult, but also keep in mind some of this new stuff when it first comes out, it's overwhelming. You got to learn, you got to prepare, you got to have the right toolkits, you got to have the right characters, sets, blah blah blah. But look at the Rancor now and look at HAAT. I mean, I literally haven't done one in like 2 months. I just get rewards in my box, and all I do is go in and put a 0. That takes like 10 seconds. So I think there'll be a point and a time at some point when all of these new things will be on farm, so to speak, in where you're just being a team where not everybody's going to have to be 100. Right now, that's the case, but we also only have what characters are in the game. Remember, it'll allow 7,500 units into territory battles, which would be more than enough to 45 star. We don't even have that many characters in the game right now. So they're looking for the future and looking to the future. And once this rolls out and time has been passed and new characters are brought in, you probably could have 35 really strong players, kind of like you do with HAAT, that are like super active, that have the time, and others that are just not quite available, who will probably do some battles here, battles there, but maybe don't get to participate as much, that will still work. Now, I know that isn't the design. The design's for everybody to be uber engaged and active and involved. But yeah, I mean, the Guild versus Guild was requested, and they're bringing it out now. The only downside is yes, it's a lot of work. I mean, these territory battles, because you want to be perfect, I spend a half an hour doing my territory battles. I spend a half an hour doing my galactic war, because I've got 3 nodes that I have to replay like 6 times.
Yes, I know.
So there's an hour. I've got an hour invested in that, and if you add another, Guild versus Guild, there's a half hour. And this is the game that people are 25 to 55. That is the, with 35 to 40 being the target 5-year mark. So these are a lot of really like professionals, that are playing the game and working for a living, and they're doing this as the only real thing that they're doing on the side. They're not playing a whole lot of other games. They're just professionals that are trying to fill in some gaps on a 10-minute break or on a lunch, to give them something to do on the lunch, and maybe in the morning when they're having coffee, kind of thing. So you give them too much, and those little breaks that they're filling in become overwhelming for sure.
Yeah, it's a definite thing to keep an eye on. So we'll keep track of it. Don't worry, guys. We got you. Are you still there, Remon? He came in like the Lone Ranger and left like a Lone Ranger. All right, so let's go back to the top. Next question. This is from Cytrox99. And this is for Warrior. And he wants to know, did you notice the bug with Biston's ship versus the TIE Fighter in Ship Arena? That the basic attack, Biston's ship versus the TIE Fighter in Ship Arena.
Okay.
The basic attack of Biston says you cannot evade if he is stealth, yet it hits every time but shows a dodge on, and the other cap shit gets turn meter. Let me see. The basic attack of Biston says you cannot evade if he is stealth, yet it hits every. I don't think it hits every time. I think it misses every time. It shows the dodge. He's right. Okay.
Time it's just it's a visual bug because that ship like evades almost 50% of the time, so it's constantly putting up position. But it shows that it evaded, but then the game mechanics catch that it can't be evaded and it applies the damage. So it's a visual bug, but it's working as intended. It's just not looking as it's intended.
Yeah, I was not aware of that. It's interesting. Of course, I'm not using Biston ship, so.
Side note: a lot of people now that the Rebels are coming out of the woodworks and people are learning about Rebel ships. Side note: Bistan has one of the best ships in the game for a target lock team. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
It goes stealth, hard for people to hit. It's a guaranteed target lock. It's guaranteed damage because he'll be stealth, so he's going to be guaranteed doing damage. He is the light side version of the Imperial TIE Fighter. So for anyone who thinks the Imperial TIE Fighter is all that in a bag of chips, they need to have Bistan's ship for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, next question from Bad Rongo. Who gets the best bonus at Gear 12? This is for you, Mike. Who gets the best bonus at Gear 12? R2-D2, Raid Han, or Baze?
Oh, that's a good question. Personally, I'd say Raid Han would, because he gets that added bit of protection which just makes him that little bit more resilient. Plus, if you stick the bayonet on him, oh my, that's fun. Yeah,
he's a great Zeta.
Yeah. Something
that got done cooking.
Yeah, no, that was. I
hot
said
pocket?
No, it was actually a text from my dad. So it's his birthday today, and he's celebrating it with my mum in Sicily.
Oh,
so,
well, that's what I'm talking. That's a birthday celebration of,
isn't it? Just.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a text.
I agree. I think Raid Han would be of those three, Gear 12.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I took advantage of the pack at the time, which allowed R2 to be my first Gear 12. No, I would go Raid Han as benefiting the most.
All right. Oh, we've got a follow-up for Warrior, and then we'll go to Bella. So follow-up for Warrior on Citrox's question. Citrox99 said, but the other cat shit gains turn meter, and that's not correct. Just when the TIE evades. And then Grandmaster Wixel piped in and said, no, it still needs turn meter. It still feeds turn meter to the capital ship, not just visual bug.
Yeah, it does feed the turn meter to the ship because it affects other ships. You know what? That's developers listen to this. Maybe they could answer on it. I've played Biston, so I've seen it, and what I've seen is basically it does go through. It's not evaded. The only problem is it shows it's being evaded. So, but I haven't paid that much attention to the turn meter. So I could be wrong. Maybe it is feeding unnecessary turn meter. It shouldn't be, but I didn't notice that. But the ship gets. The capital ship automatically gets some. So I don't know. That would be a developer question for that to see if it's WAI.
Yes, if you're listening, developers, look into it. All right.
Yeah, ships are going to become more and more important, and they're going to have to work all that out.
Yes, they got to get that fixed. They did a huge amount of bug fixes too this last update too. We didn't get into that, but you can check all those out in the forums. I am not getting to all those bug fixes. If you have a question about any of them, let me know. Okay, let's drink some more coffee. Coffee. Miss Bella, this is from Tony Richards, and he wants to know, is BB-8 Zeta, the one that has the resistance assist when he attacks out of turn, basically for a droid team with R2-D2 and BB-8? Since resistance teams don't get hit very often, which makes both Zetas basically geared towards droid teams for BB-8, is that your opinion as well? BB-8 Zeta.
Yes, he has 2 Zetas. So counter chance and self-preservation protocol, it's called, I think. Yeah. So which one are we talking about? Did he say so?
Well, he's saying is it more towards droids than it is for the resistance, is basically what he's asking about the Zetas. Because resistance, once they get going, oh, look out.
The roll with punch is when BB-8 attacks out of turn, he calls a random resistance ally to assist. So that is definitely not for the droids.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is BB-8 takes damage, has 50% chance to gain foresight. If BB-8 is active, droid allies gain 8% turn meter for each active droid ally. When BB-8 evades, droid allies recover 8% health and 8% protection. So I would differentiate these 2 Zetas. Obviously, one is for resistance rather and one for the droids. And the droids, as far as I know, are rather for the raid teams, like tank takedown.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anyone else running BB-8 elsewhere.
Yeah. And if you don't have BB-8 working in your resistance team, get on it. He is a little monster in there. My God. Territory battles like, wow. Oh, we won. It's like, oh my God, he's a beast. So do it. But yeah, droids, I mean, that's a Zeta I really wouldn't. His other, but even then, if you're going to Zeta BB-8, which there are other Zetas you should probably get, but if you have Zetas hanging around and you want to use it, I'd probably do the resistance one first because you're using resistance in territory battles and stuff.
I think it's more fun to swim with resistance, actually. The raid tank takedown results I have seen were with resistance, not with droids. So I myself haven't tried him out in the tank takedown yet, so I can't comment on that. I just have seen crazy scores with resistance, and that would be the first data.
You led into what I was going to say. I've posted a how not to solo of phase 4 with BB-8.
You do that a lot, Mike.
It's my expertise. So basically, my analysis is if I can do it this way, this badly, then if you do it the right way, it should be a piece of cake. There we are. I'll go the polite end word. But yeah, BB-8 is great. Yeah. The great BB-8.
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right. For last who we were asking questions to. Okay. Badrongo, this is a question from Warrior, and his question is: being that anyone can beat anyone, how do you think that defensive team setups in Guild v Guild is going to work?
It's probably going to assign points on how many that you kill on the defense versus on the offense. But this is my problem, I guess, with Guild versus Guild. So with territory battles, they were able to get around cheating. People who were using local side, like using APKs and stuff, they were able to get around that because even if you use an APK and you hack all 6 battles and do perfect in territory battles, like you still had to have all of the required characters. You couldn't hack that. You still had to have those characters, and so you either had them or you didn't. If you didn't, you can't cheat. And even if you could cheat, you're only getting some of the battle points. The rest of the points come from your collection, which you have to either have from being played a long time or having spent a lot of money. So they have gotten around the cheats with territory battles, which is exciting, right? The problem with Guild versus Guild is it goes back to it's a territory battle type layout, so they're going to have to stay with that alignment to keep people from cheating because it's Guild versus Guild. It's like an honor system. It's a pride thing. So I don't know how they're going to do it with Guild versus Guild, because if they, and they're going to have to pair guilds up that are equivalent to each other, because then it's not fair. I mean, if Team Instinct gets paired up with some 60 million, team, that's just not even fair to that team. So they're going to have to pair up certain characters, which could change strategy. This is a counter strategy for them. It's interesting. Everybody's like BHG and Alliance did this. Both of them did it, where they did a super guild where they, took from their 50 or 100 guilds, all the top players, and stuck them into one guild to make a super guild for territory battles. You might see them leveling their teams off more for Guild versus Guild, because the other teams are going to get totally screwed, if they don't have some of their better players. But I honestly don't know how they're going to do the point system. It cannot be based on the battles themselves, and I don't know how to do Guild versus Guild without that. Because if you do it on the battles, and somebody does a local side APK hack and they showcase perfect, battles, they're going to win. And then you got teams like Team Instinct where nobody's cheating, and it's just a bunch of whales. And if they're losing to a team that's got 20 million GP less, hands down, it's gonna offend and hurt some of the greatest players, the spenders, not players necessarily, the greatest spenders in the game. So they got to be careful with it for sure, because when they launched last year those tournaments, that was
cheating
an absolute
everywhere.
Nightmare. Cheating everywhere, and it hurt. It hurt.
Aren't you a game changer? Don't you know the answers to these questions?
Yeah, right.
Fremon, you know better. How dare you, sir? You just can't go ninja and come in and just say something like that.
Yeah, no. I was just busting chops, because it's. I agree. I don't know how they would do. I was literally like, the only thing I wonder about this whole territory wars thing is like, how could you possibly calculate, like some sort of guild versus guild interaction without live fighting? So, and have it be fair, But so I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Well, to Reebon's point, really quick, since we are discussing this stuff and both of you guys are game changers, we'll put a caveat out there. Anything discussed on the stream is subject to change. All right, continue.
It's always subject to change.
Ebooks. I am not subject to change, right, Finity?
No comment.
My anything I say is always subject to change.
Take it with a grain of salt. My God. Oh my God. All right, next question for Mike. Then we're going to go back to Bella. Never mind. This is a follow-up for Warrior. All right, then we'll do Mike, then we'll do Bella. Okay, put this here. This is a specific question for you, Warrior, from Vuk Majstorovic. I can't even pronounce this name. It looks Eastern Europe, and that's all I can say. I'll just call you Vuk because I can't see your last name, bud. Sorry about that. For Warrior, I'm running Zader lead, Royal Guard, Xylus, Xylo, and Xeris. Who to replace with 7-star Thrawn? Top 50 arena, 91,500 power, and have 3 Zetas stored. You need to get Kenobi. What is going on here? No,
yeah. So, really quick, just briefly go through the 5 teams. 5. I heard Royal Guard.
Yeah,
Varys,
Zader lead with Royal Guard, with Xylus, Xylo, and Xeris.
Xylus. Just say their names, dude.
Darth Nihilus.
No,
Darth Nihilus. Okay.
Xylus.
I don't do the whole ZZZZZ thing. I think that's
we were trying to do,
crazy.
you should see what we came up with, Zeb. It's Zeb. It's French.
Yeah, no, that's where it gets insanity. I did a video in hopes that I could get the community behind me, and I basically said you put a Z before their name or is he after their name? So that way we could have some sanity when we talk about him. But because when you guys use those words, I'm not gonna track with you. But Nihilus definitely want to keep in there. If Royal Guard is your best tank, then you're gonna want to keep him in there. And obviously you're strategizing using the Zader Darth Vader lead. So I get why you're using Darth Vader lead. I don't know. Thrawn is not a tank, but he can kind of beat one because of his protection, regeneration, and stuff. I would take out Barriss, honestly. She doesn't seem like she fits in that strategy really well. So that's what I would do. I would take Barriss Offie out. She's a wet noodle for everything except for the critical hit immunity and the possible heal. If you've got a big enough offensive team, you don't need the heal, and he's going to provide protection regeneration. So that's almost as good, if not better than the heal. She does cleansing, but he does cleansing. So, it kind of seems like an apples to apples swap, with the regeneration to protection, cleansing, the counter, which she doesn't do. And he'll hit for 10K on his basic. She hits for like 3. So honestly, I would probably just swap her out for him. And so that way, you've still got someone that's going to bring back protection and then make him fast. I know everybody thinks that he should be slow for his fracture, but he loses turn meter while fractured with Empire abilities. So you really still want him fast to use his abilities, so he doesn't just get stunned and sits there. You want to be able to use him.
That's right. All right. Mike, you're up next. This is from Summonos. And his question, is there a specific kill order for the final phase of the Thrawn events?
If I recollect, you want to get rid of the first taunt. So the two either side at the back row of Thrawn. So you get rid of the first taunt, then as fast as possible dispatch the Death Troopers, because they're the ones that are going to double tap every single one of your toons. Get them gone. And then focus down on the other taunt healer. Then the last ad, finally leaving Thrawn at the end. Thrawn's your last target. Don't try and take him beforehand.
Yes, that is correct. As Warrior demonstrated in this video, which you can see on YouTube, which is the greatest thing ever.
If you want to see how not to do it, I've also got a video of how not to 7-star Thrawn. I just wanted to give a quick response regarding earlier talking about guilds. Earlier on today, I had a look. BHG made up 7 of the top 50, which equates to 14% of Territory Battle's top 50. So that we're pretty well spread out, even though we do have, the second highest galactic power guild. Sorry about that.
Limited power.
It's limited at the moment, isn't it?
Well, how many people do you have in your guild? You got 1,000, 800, 500? I mean, I don't know how many you guys have, but you have an exorbitant amount to choose from.
750, 13, 650.
Yeah,
50?
see, that's a lot.
650. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's a plethora of players.
It is, and I think we're a mid-range guild in regards to sizes of alliance, aren't we? There are some.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think you're the second largest guild in the world. Pretty sure.
Oh, cool.
Alliance.
Oh yeah.
I can only think of the Alliance.
Alliance is probably easily as big. And that's because they took most of Team Skunk with them when they created it. And so there's just a ridiculous amount of Alliance out there as well, and they were able to pull from all their guilds as well. Team Instinct only has 3 teams. That's all we'll ever have according to our charter. So we tried during the Team Skunk fallout, basically save all the Team Skunk people from that fallout, and we tried to bring them on board, but then it was like, wait, what are we doing? We were all of a sudden at like 350 going to 400 people, and that wasn't like our initial intent. So we cut it back down to 150, and they broke off and made Dark Lords. So if you actually counted Dark Lords, who were all Team Instinct at one point, Dark Lords and Team Instinct make up, like 7 or 8 of the top 20 teams. So pretty strong there. But I think we just want to maintain the 150. And we were really balanced all the way through up until this week. We were like 130-ish between the 3 guilds. But then we shifted a couple people. We're like at 125, and 150 something, 157, because we're going for the world's first 45-star. We're attempting that this week. Hopefully, we'll make that. So
I have not heard anything on that. I don't know how it's going. I hope it's going good.
Well,
36.
Perfect run in phase 1, perfect run in phase 2, perfect run in phase 3, perfect run in phase 4. But we had lots of glitches in the battles, and we made it, but those glitches were scaring us. And then in phase 5, we had glitches, even though we got a payout that it was fixed.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Did have some issues again on the Hoth battle. So it was a little bit freaky because we did make it, but we had enough overage that we made it in phase 5. So we're perfect at this point, the 36 stars. But phase 6 starts, in a couple hours, and it goes for 24 hours, and everybody has to be perfect on those battles, basically, for us to make it. And then on top of that, if there's if there's glitches on 10 people and they don't get to finish 2 or 3 battles, we can't make it, all because of stupid glitches. So we're going to be very, very, very. We have the last time we did it, we all did perfect battles. So like we know we can do the battles and win, and we all have enough GP. We've done the math. We know we have enough to actually 45 stars. So it's not a matter of if we can do it. We for a fact can do it. It's just a matter of whether the game is going to glitch on us and screw us out of our victory or not. And so hopefully there's no glitches like there have been the last couple of days. And 200 points and a couple hundred crystals is not going to make this team happy when they lose out on the world's first opportunity that they're attempting. So hopefully today goes off, the next 24 hours goes off without a hitch.
Thank you for raising that point at the end. I must admit, I seem to be in the minority. When I saw the compensation for that, it's like it doesn't. You've got to look at the ramifications across the entire game. If that had been in phase 6, then that is really hampering a lot of guilds. So the compensation did seem a bit low in my perspective when because it can happen in any phase.
Yeah. All right. Next question for Darth Bella from our good friend ShyBears326. Da Bears. He writes, my guildmate has been reading on Reddit that on territory battles, if you use airstrike and it's a tank turn, you don't do as much damage as if you use a attacker or a high DPS character. Have you noticed this at all, Bella? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
You've been
actually,
yeah. Oh, really?
Of course. And I read Reddit as well.
That's right. You know everything, my apprentice.
But I forgot to tell you. I'm so sorry, Ranger.
I
But
shall punish you
now
later.
you know. Now
With
you
force lightning.
Yeah, actually, I think this is open, still an open question, and it's a good point, and you should try it out. I tried it out tonight, and I must say, for me, it worked. So
it's a confirmed thing.
Yeah,
it is a confirmed thing.
Yeah, it's an extension of that character.
And let me finish this. I tried it out tonight, very late in my night, like 4 a.m. But I was still awake, and I didn't click airstrike like normally, just first thing you go to the phase where you want to use it, but really checked which character, what's the role of the characters, and waited for attackers, and you kind of use their turn. So if for example, I have Ezra, who's an attacker, and I use airstrike, then that's Ezra's turn, and then the next character it's his turn. So that makes really sense that you kind of that the characters' abilities are kind of transferred to this airstrike.
That's interesting. Is that design or is that a bug?
No, that's design, and that is it working as intended, and that's actually the intent. I've gotten confirmation 100% that is actually working correctly and supposed to be working that way, because it's an ability that any of your characters can pull and use, and it uses that character's modifiers, damage modifiers. So if you've got a DPS character such as Han Solo calling it, it's going to do 3 times, 4 times what it would do if you have Barriss Offee call it. So you want to make sure that you're using your highest damage dealer to call
the
that.
buffs also add to that.
That's interesting.
Do you
I don't
need
know
to?
if buffs add to that.
They're using the characters' damage modifiers. No, I don't believe the buffs necessarily are going to apply. It pulls the stats from the character to apply to that ability in that moment you hit that ability. It says what because it has to use stats from something to create how much damage it's going to do. It's not its own standalone ability. It has to work off of something, which is why it takes the turn of a character. So when that character uses it, it uses that character's abilities and then applies the appropriate damage based off of that character's damage modifiers, stats.
Wow.
That would change the strategy entirely, right? Because I mean, like if you weren't using, let's say you didn't know that, right? Like you would want to use the weakest character's turn to do the airstrike because they're not going to do as much damage.
Which is what most people were doing. Because they didn't want to give up. They didn't want to give up Han Solo's turn. Like that's the only guy that's chewing through the team, so they're not going to give up his team. Side note: if anybody's listening and wants a really good strategy, really great to clear the entire board and just completely decimate the other side in a late round, like in round 5 or 6. You're kind of whittling away at everybody's protection right, and they've got about half protection left. Do Baze's AoE. It does a redonkulous amount of damage, and that AoE is going to put them all down into their health, which then triggers a bunch of taunts, and then everybody goes crazy on the other side. Immediately use the airstrike as the next ability, and as long as it's the DPS character, then it's going to completely wipe the board. Now, early on, everyone knows in like level 1, you can hit it and it just clears the board by itself, but later on, it's not enough. But if you use a super high DPS character like Han Solo's turn, who's really fast and has a lot of that, in Baze first, Baze will wipe a ridiculous portion off the board for you and trigger all of their buffs, and then the airstrike will destroy all of the buffs that they just got, and will kill 3 to 5 of those characters across the way because of the amount of DPS that it's contributing. I had my airstrike hit for 70k to everybody under Han Solo. It critted for 70k to every single character, and Baze had hit for 25%. Remember, that is 25% of their health. Well, their health is like huge. It's like 60,000 health for a lot of these guys. So you're talking about 15,000 on his AoE, and then another 70,000 on a thing. It's like 85k. It was enough to clear the board and eliminate their taunts. And what was left was a bunch of people in yellow and red, kind of holding their sides, going and it was an easy cleanup. So just a strategy with Baze and that.
Are you guys getting 45 stars this time?
We very easily can get 45 stars this time. It's a matter of whether the game is going to glitch and not allow us to finish battles and do the spinning wheel of death, or the where it just sits there and you're staring at the screen and your characters are standing there.
Even if you hit auto, nothing happens. Yeah,
that's what we're worried about, because that has happened before.
It finally happened to me for the first time, like in phase 1.
Yeah, and in phase 4 it happened for us, and in phase 5 it happened for us, and it was stressful because we're trying to do this world's first 45 stars, and here we are like missing a bunch of galactic power because we're missing battles, and it's through no fault of our own, And I get like stuff happens, but it's like how did this happen? This glitch came out of nowhere.
Consistently.
Because it was working fine, and all of a sudden this week it's like crazy not working.
It's like they knew you guys were going for it. I call conspiracy shenanigans. All right, let's go back. Next question to Warrior. Question: has the game moved away from raids, or will there be a new one at some point in the future? And that's from Kitch.
I'm sure at some point there'll be another raid added. When it's 6 months from now and everybody's like, there's nothing to do in the game. The guild versus guild takes me 2 minutes in my galactic war now with my new triple star galactic power amazing badass Jedi Knight Anakin does, an AoE that kills all 5. This is arena's no time at all either. So what are we gonna play? I mean, everybody, you know what I mean? It gets to that point where the stuff in the game, people just get to a point where they just don't find any value in it, and time is quick. I mean, I just literally like 4 months ago, everybody was saying there's nothing to do in this game. There's nothing to do in this game. So when we get back to that point, I'm sure they'll introduce another raid, and the raids are kind of they're a big deal to build, so it would take them 6 to 8 months to build something like this.
We got to get that Death Star DLC, man.
Oh Lord! All right, Remar, do you want to get a question? You got time for a question?
A Wampa raid? You guys down with a Wampa raid?
No, not Wampa raid. I want to ask a question. So we'll give this one to Remon. This is from Billy Gunn, and he wants to know, with the announcement of Dark Side territory battles, what should players focus on?
Now, this is kind of a trick question, right? Because it depends on where you're at with your rebels. If you're not currently clearing your light side territory battles, then I would still focus on that. But if you are currently, handling your Phoenix battle, if you're handling your Rogue One battle, if you're getting all the, the guild bonuses and the extra currency that you're supposed to get from those, special missions, then I would focus on dark side characters. I mean, obviously you want to have your arena team all, modded out, Gear 12 with all that stuff, but obviously in this game we can all focus on multiple things at once. I mean, you don't have to necessarily just pick out one character and just work on that character. You can kind of work on different characters because the different level of character requires different pieces of gear. So for example, if you're trying to level up, let's say, some dark side characters for dark side territory battles, you're going to want to start getting them to gear 11, gear 12. They may need a lot of purple pieces and things like that, whereas like your arena team may be in need of more gold pieces that you'll be pulling out of like the shard shop or the gear shop, whatever you want to call it now. So I mean, just in my opinion, if you're doing well in territory battles, and you're getting all the missions done, and you're helping your guild complete it, then I would say focus on dark side. But if you're still having trouble getting all those things done, then don't move on to a new task until you've completed the one that's at hand.
I agree. Good point. All right. Next question for Mikey. And this is from Tony Richards. And his question is, what do you guys think of, with all of this talk of too much to do in game, what if they put a feature into Sim Galactic War? So if they put a feature into Sim Galactic War, do you think that would help? I don't think they'll ever do that.
Yes, it would help. I'm like you, though. I don't think they would do it. It's, your 6, 9, 11 nodes, or whichever ones are your hard nodes. Are there to trip you over. It's a test of your squad. And actually, they couldn't, because effectively it's a different squad each time. So even if you do 3-star that particular node, it's a different node the next time you play it. So technically you couldn't, unless you play the exact same Galactic War each and every time, which you don't. Haha,
Yeah.
there we are. Resolved.
I don't think, yeah.
Yeah. It's designed as a test, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's a place where you can test out teams and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll build a simple. Yeah.
I'm buzzing that I had an 18-minute run. It's like 18 minutes. You know, it used. You know, there were. Was it Arnold, a mobile gamer, that used to do the races?
Yeah.
And you can't do those now because you put it on auto and you lose key tunes too quickly, and that's it. Non complete. I don't know what that was.
Don't do that. All right, next question is for Darth Bella, and this is from Umlungu Fembeni. I hope I said that name right. Finity put a note in here. I wish Garnet was here to read that name. No, you don't, Finity. He would have. Oh, Lord, I didn't want to go there. And his question is, Miss Bella, should we be farming Hermit Yoda? Ooh, good question. Should we be farming Hermit Yoda? What do you think, Miss Bella?
Yes, I'm here, which is good.
Well, I hope so.
You know, in the long run, yes, but actually, for the current territory battles, I feel I have other priorities than farming him. That is my personal view, and I'm not someone like the end game players who have every character at 7 stars, but I don't farm character charts from the guild event shipments. I farm gear, the gear 12 gear, and I actually got a few Hermit Yoda shards, but I'm not overdoing it. If you're in a different situation, you're an end game player and you have every single character, and you have to, and you, for your galactic power to be, you want to up it, and then for sure go for Hermit Yoda. And he's fun to experiment with. I'm quite sure of that. But for other characters, it's a bit like the answer for dark side territory battles. It depends where you are in the game and what you should focus on. If I cannot finish my territory battles 6 of 6 levels, then I should focus probably on that and not get Hermit Yoda. And that is better done by getting gear from there. So for me, I farm him, but slowly.
Yeah, he's not a priority. He really isn't. All right. This next question is from Com Cobra. He says, my question is for Zoyer. Zeta Warrior.
How dare he?
Zoyer. What's your favorite arena team that you run fun-wise?
Fun-wise?
Yeah.
Whatever team destroys the other team is fun for me. So whatever team I'm having the best success with, probably one of my favorites to run is the Tiger team, the Team Instinct Tiger team. I have a video on YouTube about it. Just go Team Instinct Tiger team, or Warrior Tiger, or go to my arena playlists. But Tiger team is fun. There's a Tiger 2.0 team. The 2.0 team basically puts in Old Ben, a Zeta Old Ben. I don't have a Zeta on Old Ben yet, so I can't run the 2.0, but the 2.0 team is probably hands down the best offensive team in the game. It'll shoot through a team in less than 60 seconds every time. I don't care who's on the other side for Tiger 2.0, provided you have the same value or equivalent mods as your opponents. I mean, if they've got God mods and you have 4+ speed mods, you're going to probably not be able to do it. But I'm talking like apples to apples. If you have the same level and everything, and your development's basically the same, which most shards in the top 20, they're all everybody's developed about the same. Approximately in those top 20 positions, then yes, you the Tiger team's my absolute favorite because it's a beast on offense. Now, can it be beat on defense? Of course, everything can be beat on defense. It even drops a little bit further than a couple of my other teams that I run, but it's so much fun to play on offense because, I mean, within 10 seconds, I'm destroying one of their players with my opening first 5 moves. So it's really fun. So if you want to know more about that kind of team comp, how it works, I had a video on it. The video I play the team, and they're not modded right in the video, and it was my first attempt at playing the Tiger team. But since then, I have my team way more modified, and it works really, really well.
I like it. All right, next question for Mikey. Your thoughts on an arena team of the near future, but it's only for defense. And they threw out that they were thinking of hopefully a 5 in the stand, which would include General Kenobi lead, Zaris, Hermit Yoda, Fives, and El Kenobi. If you had to form a defensive team, would that be the one you would go with, Mike, or would you pick something else?
I'd like to throw a First Order Stormtrooper in there.
Oh, yeah.
I do like my Fozd. Yeah.
Loki loves First Order Stormtrooper.
Such a strong tune. And yeah, now that the shuttle is farmable, that ship's going to be awesome. That is going to be one of the top ships in fleet. Who else? Yeah, I'm wondering whether the devs are going to pull a separatist thing. And we discussed one of my favourite bugs, Mr. Funsack. I'm wondering whether he's going to come back in a big way.
Unless they fix him.
Yeah. He's one of the best. He was one of the best tanks in game, and was still viable up until fairly recently, even in heroic tank and everything. So, and he's got a ship, which is I'm seeing more and more in fleet. So I'd work those two in there somewhere. Yeah, especially as both counter or have percentage counters as well. Got to have a bit of offense in a defense team, haven't you?
Yeah, I like it. All right, Ms. Bella, next question is from you, from Bad Horsey 1. And the question is, what's the best ships team to run with Tarkin? So what are the best ships when you're running a Tarkin fleet arena league?
Yeah, I got the question. I'm just kind of thinking right now.
Do it quicker, my apprentice. I trained you better.
And I had to switch on the microphone because I'm muted in between, right? Like I should. And Tarkin, yeah, you obviously have an Empire capital ship, so it's quite a good idea to use also Empire ships with it.
Yeah.
And Empire ships are TIE Advanced. The TIE Fighter is an Imperial ship, but also the Gauntlet Starfighter and the TIE Reaper. Both are farmable now, and the Gauntlet has been farmable for quite a while. And if you went for Gar Saxon and Imperial Super Commando, then that's quite a good ship as well. Also, I quite like, even though he's not Empire, the First Order TIE Fighter. Obviously,
I do too.
Obviously, you want to have Biggs in the main lineup still, because his auto taunt on target lock kind of is good for the whole fleet, because they survive much better. So you would have Biggs, TIE Advanced, you have the TIE Fighters, both of them, all of them actually. We were talking about Kylo's ship, but I'd actually prefer to have Umbaran on that one as well, because he can dispel.
I like that.
And you can put Kylo maybe, if you have him high, upgraded him fully as a reinforcement. But Umbaran is even though he gives turn meter to opponents, he's a very good ship in main lineup.
I like it. My apprentice has done well. All right. The next question is for everybody. This is a fun question from Artorius Drac Knight. Anybody can chime in. What is your favorite way to cook Ewoks? Well, I'm going to say I like the rotisserie style, so they suffer slowly, and the hair burns away from them as they are melted. But that's just me. Anybody else have some thoughts?
Microwaving and soup is fun.
What if they explode, though?
That's the soup.
Oh, it's soup. Oh, I didn't hear the soup part. So you would chop them up, put them in a soup, and then microwave.
I suppose you could chop them up. I mean, they're quite small.
So we have soup in a microwave and rotisserie style. Anybody else? All right. Well, Arturus, when next time you're eating Ewok, you've got a couple of good ideas. Just a little seasoning, and there you go. I hate Ewoks. And last question, and this is for everybody. This is a fun one from our good friend and listener and supporter who just recently turned 18, has joined the ranks of adults, Miss Keyboard, all the way from Scotland. And she wants to know, since Star Wars Rebels is starting up soon again, I would like to know, what is your favorite scene from Star Wars Rebels? Now, is everybody an avid watcher of Star Wars Rebels here?
Yeah,
no.
me.
I'm up to Series 3. I'm working my way through Series 3 now.
All right. And Bella, have you been watching the Rebels? Bella.
I was muted.
I'm going to have to teach you to use the dark side to use your mute properly.
Yes, I have to use my...
You've been watching Rebels, right?
Power... Yes. The question... I lost the
favorite
question.
Scene. What is your favorite scene from Star Wars Rebels?
With Star Wars Rebels...
Favorite scene?
Mm-hmm. Favorite scene? I just watched season 1, so I am way behind.
Oh, okay. So you hold off. We'll come back to you another day because I want you to be able to watch all of it. Oh, I can't. This will be a spoiler for Bella.
But I have to explain. I'm in Germany, right? But I love to watch original versions, and Star Wars Rebels is categorized as children's stuff, so it's not available in English. It's only available in German, so I have a tough time finding it. I ordered the season 2 now in Britain, so I get a UK import, and I have to try to find out where to get season 3.
I think it's on the Disney app now.
Yeah, it is.
I saw in chat that you can get it on the Disney app.
I don't have the Disney app.
Well, no, but you can get the Disney app.
Boy.
Is it for free, Mike?
You're gonna have to go get it.
I don't believe.
I would like to think so, but
no.
Do it.
Anyways, this is a special situation, but I love Rebels. What I've seen so far, and I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for you, Billy. So you may want to. Like mute for about a minute or so. We'll take your headphones off because we may say something you're gonna be like, what? Oh no! All right, so we'll go around to Mikey while we let Bella plug her ears for a second, and then all right, Mike, your favorite scene from Rebels?
Favorite scene from Rebels, I think, is where Fats leaps in and saves them against the two Sith. Or was it the Sith? The Inquisitors, where she leaps in there. That's amazing. Favorite episodes have got to be the end of season 2, is it?
Yeah, just pick one. It's just favorite scene. So you got
that would be my scene though. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I
try not to listen, but whenever Mike is talking,
why are you listening, Bella?
It fits. I heard it. I put my hands over my ear, but
I told you not to do that.
I heard Fats, and that is not fair. Don't call her Fats.
You're not supposed to listen. Oh, Bella.
I didn't get away with it.
No, you didn't. And now she knows something that's going to happen in the future.
I heard it with hands over my ears. I swear.
Yeah, I bet you did. Not.
Yeah, but you've got earphones in your ears.
What about you, Warrior?
So I have two. I mean, obviously the one that you just mentioned is great, but then there's a couple others. One, when they first introduced Darth Vader, where the rebels have to run away and they get in their ship and take off, and you see Darth Vader just standing there, cool as a cucumber, going like, "I'll get them," like, "Don't worry, we're not going to chase them. We know where they're at. We know what's up." The other is when Thrawn's capital ship Chimera is introduced, when he sabotages their escape plans from the planet that they're hiding on, that he knows they're there. And this Darth Vader and Thrawn, the reason why so many people are attracted to that dark side and to those two characters specifically is they wield a ridiculous amount of power, whether that's like mental prowess or actual legit physical power, like choking people. But they're both like just cool cats. Like they don't get all worked up. They're not all emotional. They're not screaming and yelling. They're not freaking out. They're not running around with chickens, like a chicken with their head chopped off. Like they're just like cool as a cucumber. Just like, listen, I got this. I can kill them. I got this. I know what's happening. I know everything they're going to do. I've already worked around how to defeat them. And so both of those scenes where Darth Vader's just chilling and they're like, "Should we chase them?" And he's like, "No, of course not. Don't chase them." Or where Thrawn was like, they're like, "We're not surrendering." And he's like, Thrawn's like, "Oh, I think you misunderstood. I'm not accepting surrenders at this time." You know what I mean? Like, come on now. That's so awesome. So yeah, if people are playing the game and they enjoy Thrawn as a character in the game and they don't know who he is in real life, they haven't read his book or they haven't watched the Rebels, they're doing themselves a disservice. He's a phenomenal build of a character inside of the Rebels series, and I would watch the Rebels series strictly for the knowledge and education of the Star Wars universe, if anything. But once you start watching it for that purpose, you'll come to enjoy the series.
Yeah, go back and read the Thrawn books. It's new canon that Timothy Thrawn just put out. It's a phenomenal read. And go back and read the original versions of Heir to the Empire and all that stuff. I mean, you really get into how Thrawn thinks and stuff in the original Timothy Thrawn books from way back when. Oh, yeah, you are reading those, aren't you, Miss Bella?
It's 8 books with on Thrawn, 8, and I read them all, and they're really cool. And if you want to start right at the beginning, start with Outbound Flight. It's not so well known, but I thought it's a really good book to start with also.
There you go. Look at Bella dropping the book. No, I'm so proud of my apprentice. For me, I think the two scenes that stick out the most, of course, is Ahsoka battle with Vader at the end of season 2, when she cuts his face and she, for that brief moment, he calls out her name and she realizes finally that it is Anakin. Just gut-wrenching. The other one that sticks in my head is the Darth Maul Ben Kenobi scene. I mean, Kenobi, it's like Maul's all raged. He's ready to come in there, and Kenobi, who's just gotten just more seasons, just like 1, 2, 3, you're dead. And then the thing they see at the end there, I thought that was an incredible scene. And some people had a problem with like, he kills him too fast, it's impossible. Like, no, it's not. It's General Kenobi. It's old Ben Kenobi. I mean, the dude at that point with his lightsaber force mastery was no match for Maul, who has still been the same his whole time. I thought those are two of the best emotional scenes in there.
Ranger, do you know mine? Do you know mine? Do you know my favorite scene?
What?
Turbs is going like crazy on the phone here. He's avoiding getting killed by somebody right now, so he wanted to jump in.
I guess. I don't know what that is. Oh, I hear.
Turbs, are you still running from the bride? Turbs is at a wedding, but he wanted to chime in for the for the question.
Well, if you're gonna chime in, you should not be talking. Turbs, what the hell?
Gonna kick you, Turbs. Gonna kick you. Alright, I have to stop that.
Herbs is in the
Sorry,
middle of a
Turbs.
hurricane
I
right now.
had to. It's just too much air tunnel. But do you know what my favorite scene is, Ranger, from Rebels? I think you can guess.
If you say it, I'm going to find you and punch you in your eye.
It is when the Phoenix Squad goes to steal the Y-Wing and gets the help of the Ugnaughts.
No! Dirty,
Three
nasty
Ugnaughts!
jungle
There were
love.
3
No.
Ugnaughts! They
Out of
saved
all
the
the
day! They even talked on the console in order to get them all stupid.
Ugnaughts, man. That was a fun scene, actually. I really enjoyed watching Ugnaughts and actually seeing them in real life. Like,
See?
oh, hey, that's what the hell that is.
Warrior, don't encourage him.
No, I'm encouraging him. Please, I'm encouraging him.
No. See, you don't have to deal with him. I do. So for the next day, I'm going to be,
I know, and now I can say even Warrior liked the Ugnaught scene, and you're going to have to deal with it. Thank you, Warrior.
I like that.
I thought we were
giant.
brothers in Team Instinct. I guess that brotherhood means nothing to you. You're just like throw Ranger under the bus with Finn. Thanks, Warrior. You know.
Yeah. Ugnaughts for life. What?
What?
The giant talking rock thing on the spider
Bendu.
planet. Sounds like Tom
The
Baker.
Bendu is what you're talking about.
Sounds like Tom Baker. I'm old school. He was.
It is Tom Baker. It is Tom. That's not Tom. It was with the doctor. Not Tom Baker. Was it Tom Baker? No, it was the third doctor. What's his name? I think Tom Baker was
the Bendu's the only reason why Thrawn didn't win at that scene, which is the scene I was talking about. So the Bendu just happened to be, but he was neutral. He's a neutral force wielder. He was a force wielder. He wasn't a Jedi. So it's interesting intervention. I liked that scene.
I know. I like that Katie pissed him off. Fire. He's like, did you make him angry? Yeah, run. That was so. Yeah, that is a really good scene. Much better than the Ugnaught scene by leaps and bounds.
Some two fat scenes.
Don't say that. You're going to get us in trouble, Mike. And then, oh my God, I love bananas wants to know, does Warrior love bananas? We've all answered this question. Warrior, do you love bananas?
Oh, yeah. I love bananas as a super troll about bananas, but that's cool. I think bananas are awesome, and he can troll me about bananas all day.
That's right. I like them in my protein shakes.
I love minions, ergo I love bananas.
Okay.
Banana.
There you go. All right, so that's all the questions. So now it's that time of the show where we get everybody to pimp their stuff. Let's start with Warrior. Warrior, where can folks check you out at?
They can check me out on YouTube and here every Saturday morning because you guys are willing to have me. So, here in YouTube, Warrior Presents. And I think there might be a live stream possibly tomorrow morning, possibly. Fingers crossed, so we'll see.
You know, if you ever let us know when you're going to live stream, maybe
What's the secret, Warrior?
Live stream, you know?
So,
Tell me the secret, Warrior.
I can't because it may not happen tomorrow. I may or may not be able to live stream tomorrow. So if I can't, I don't want to disclose it. But if I can, then I'll disclose it when we know for sure I'm moving forward with the live stream. It's just a logistical nightmare to get me to be able to do this, but we're gonna try to work it out and get my live stream to happen tomorrow morning. And yes, I try to live stream, but it's either going to be Tuesday mornings or Wednesday mornings, and it's not every week, and sometimes it's not Wednesday mornings at all. So it's just hard. I can't put out a schedule because of my schedule at work. It fluctuates literally every week.
That's totally cool. All right, and Remon, are you there, Mr. Wind Tunnel? Remon. I thought I just heard him. All right, I will pimp Remon stuff. Remon, you can find him at the Alliance, and they stream Fridays or Saturdays, depending on the schedule, and you can check them out there. The link is below. Darth Bella, tell the folks where they can find you.
You find me hanging out with the Dark Lords.
That's right. But where can they find you on YouTube?
Yeah, you find me in YouTube too if you search for Darth Bella or if you click the link below. And I'd like to add that I made a funny movie in YouTube about the last Thrawn event. I showed how to 6-star him, and I showed how to 7-star him.
Oh,
And just like Warrior, I later on realized it would be better to take out Sabine. In my video, I still do it with Sabine in the team, and she's awesome. She's a real cool girl, but preferably use Chopper or use the cool girl. I mean, I managed with Sabine. It was not so difficult. It depends a bit. Put your best arena mods on, and you will walk through it like nothing. And
right.
thanks for having me on the stream, by the way.
We love having you on the stream, Miss Bella. And then finally, Mr. Mike Hunt, where can people check you out, my friend?
Yeah, you can click the link below to my channel there, or you can search me, Mike Hunt SWGOH. I'm more of a vlogger than an instructional thing, other than the how not tos, which I kind of have plagiarized from Turbs, who was doing a much better job at how not to. But yeah, I've had a fun week. I dropped a 10 million in Credit Heist. That's under Boba and the Hans Find a Pink Unicorn. If you're looking for it, yeah.
I don't know what that's like, so yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I didn't until Thursday, and then yeah, and you hear me giggle like a schoolgirl when I actually realise what's just dropped. I've also activated, and I do a Fifth and Ships series, and I've got a Millennium Falcon and a Cashew Wing debuting. We're doing the territory battles. I'm trying to race my Galactic Wars, see if I can get them done quickly. Yeah, love to have you along, and thank you very much for having me today.
All right. And then, of course, you can check out Turb's channel, who couldn't be here because he's doing a wedding. And Loki couldn't be here, Grani couldn't be here, but they're, of course, they're part of the RC crew. And speaking of the RC crew, if you're watching this is the Reality Speed Gamers channel. What?
Can I do my piece out?
We already pimped your stuff, but pimp it again, Remon.
No. If you already pimped my stuff, then that's fine. I mean, I appreciate. I just want to say thank you for the stream and sorry, I know I told you I'd be back for like a full stream, but I got like bombarded with phone calls today. I apologize.
That's okay. We'll just punish you later. That's what we do.
But thanks for having me on, and it's always great to be on. So I appreciate it.
No, we're always glad to have you on. Yeah, we made sure to pimp out the alliance and everything like that, and get your channel pimped and stuff. So that has been taken care of, and we're glad to have you. And then, of course, this is Reality Speed Gamers. We stream 3 days a week. We stream Wednesdays at 8, where we break down all the latest news and notes and tell you what it all means on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And my God, are those streams getting longer and longer. Last stream was 3 hours, Finn, I think. Woo! It was a lot of information. And then, of course, you're here. This is the Jedi Academy, where we bring all the best of the gamers and YouTubers together to answer all your Star Wars Galaxy Heroes questions. And tonight will be our stream where we have fun, hang out. I usually drink and get silly. We usually let people from the VIP come on and just hang out, and we answer questions and just get, we play the game. Usually it's me and Loki. Sometimes it's Grande. And we are doing game stuff. I think I will save my Thrawn event, so we can do that tonight. Now, the caveat to that is Comcast. The reason we're doing what we're doing today is because I'm on my phone, because stupid Comcast is upgrading my internet again. So service is down. It's been like this for 2 days. It's really freaking annoying. It should be up hopefully by later tonight. If it's not, I will let you know if we'll be able to stream or not. Finn will put out something if we can't. I'm hoping that it should be taken care of by then. It's just faster internet and better speeds and stuff. But my God, I don't have any internet right now. It's ridiculous. I don't even have cable. I can't even watch TV. Stupid Comcast. Stupid. but we'll keep you abreast of that. Thanks to Finn who stepped in and for you guys today and is streaming the stream today. It's good to have backups. But yeah, if you want to join for the fun tonight, come at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's when we'll be doing the stream. Remember, we are going to a Battlefront platform. When I get the time, I will go get the PlayStation to get all that stuff. I've already started buying some of the stuff for the Battlefront 2 stuff. I just got to get the PlayStation and everything. Finn already has it on PC and has already been doing some videos and playing the game, Battlefront 2 for the beta. But we will be going to that. So we'll have two platforms. We'll have the PC version, which will be Finn playing with you guys offline and just doing videos and having fun. And then we'll have the PlayStation 4 version where we will be doing a ton of live streams and getting that taken care of and having fun doing it that way. And we haven't picked the night or anything, but still down the road. We're still setting things up and getting things organized, but it's coming around the pipe soon. So that's just a heads up for you guys. So thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate you. And on behalf of myself, the RSG crew, including Dr. Finn, who did a great job, of course, trolling you guys and answering questions or scooping up the questions. Darth Bella, Remon, Mike, and of course, Warrior. Thank you guys for all being here. And if this is the only show you're watching, then we'll see you guys next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And if you guys were avid listeners to the RSG stream, then we'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, where we continue the fun. So take care, guys. Be safe. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you later.